This is it, Clara, one of those moments.
What moment?
The darkest day, the blackest hour. Let's see what we're made of. You and I. These are tombs. Why would anyone go to so much trouble just to keep watching on the dead? The dead don't come back. Who are you?
You know who I am.
Hi everyone, TardisGuy123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the penultimate episode of Series 8, and that is Dark Water. Now, by the time I'm reviewing this, and obviously by the time you're hearing this, the entire Series 8 has gone out, and so it's going to be a little bit odd reviewing this because it's the first of two parts, and I've seen the second part, but I'm only going to review the first part, and then the second part will hopefully be up tomorrow. But anyway, let's talk about this part, which is Dark Water. Now, two-parters have been something of a rarity recently. You know, since Stephen Moffat took over, we haven't had that many of them. In fact, the last one we had before this was Flesh, something, the Rebel Flesh and the Almost People, that was it. And that was way back in 2011. So it's been quite a while now in 2014 since we had a two-part story. And, you know, it's nice to have it back. I like that build-up. One of the things I dislike about the classic series is that it's too quick. You know, the stories are made to be 45 minutes, and therefore the pacing is very quick. And that means that characters don't really get developed that much in the background and whatnot. And it also removes the build-up. You know, you're straight in, monster appears, so on and so forth. And if it's not, and if you have an entire episode build up, it usually means that the actual monster reveal itself is saved till right at the end. And you miss out on a cliffhanger. I love cliffhangers. I'm not sure what it is about them, but it's just so great to have a cliffhanger. And this one ends on a rather good one-ish. Well, I'll talk about that now. Actually, it ends well with the Cybermen marching towards you, and then you go into its eye. That would have been great. That would have been a great way to stop. But then suddenly it cuts off to Danny, and then you just see the reflection of that boy in his iPad. I'm just going to call it that. And then suddenly that's how it ends. And that doesn't seem very dramatic. That just seemed out of nowhere. I feel it, well, they shouldn't have, well, it wasn't necessary to cut that scene out. They should have put that back a bit. They should have ended with the Cyberman bit, I think. That would have been good, because it all was building up very well with the whole Missy reveal and whatnot, and then suddenly it just cut out right at the end. It was rather disappointing, to be honest. But, you know, nevertheless, it's still a great episode. You know, it's not perfect. It has got quite a few things wrong with it. But it is still quite enjoyable. It's nice to have kind of like the slow reveal of the Cybermen, even though it's obvious that they're Cybermen in there. And it's nice to have that slow reveal. I'm a bit confused as to why they really need the skeleton now. That's a bit odd, because at one point it was the human brain, now apparently you just need the skeleton. I would have thought that the skeleton was the least important thing. I think they'd replace that and instead just have the brain and other vital organs suspended. That's the one thing I don't like about the new series Cybermen. Now, well, this story and, well, this episode and the following episode especially made the Cybermen the scariest they have been in New Who. It doesn't kind of like capture that element that the classic series Cybermen had, especially the 60s ones like in Tomb of Cybermen. Really kind of like get that general feel that they were once human, but they kind of like slowly changed over time, and it's quite scary. They chose to change and whatnot. That there's loads of different elements that make the classic Cybermen much more scary than the new series Cybermen. But I won't babble on about that. And instead, let's talk about this story. The whole Danny dying at the start was a bit out of nowhere. I feel it would have been better if at the end of the last episode they had him die, or die in the climax of the last episode. Maybe change the last episode so it was in the Forest of Night, because I don't think Danny dying would have really fit there. But, you know, just have that so it doesn't just feel jointed onto the start of this story, which was rather unfortunate for this story. And then you got the whole Clara thing going on in this. It's all too rushed, to be honest. Obviously, not that much time has passed because Danny's body hasn't been cremated yet. But nevertheless, it's still It just feels too odd, too out of nowhere. But that whole scene with the Doctor and Clara, while a bit kind of like not necessarily timey-wimey, but it's got the same effect where suddenly you've got all that build-up, and then suddenly it cuts off for no good reason, and it's kind of like revealed to be something completely different. But I think for this part it works, I guess. That nevertheless, that whole scene was very good. Jenna Coleman and Peter Capaldi give great performances in that. They really do. And then of course we have the Missy reveal as the Master. I don't know. I feel I'm fine with the Master being female. I'm just not. And I think Michelle Gomez is great. More on her next week because, well, we didn't really get much of her in this as the Master, or revealed as the Master. She was the Master, but we didn't know she was the Master. But, you know, she's very good. But it's more the way it was done. I think it's almost too obvious. When you think about it, I think it was too obvious an idea to just be stuck in your face like that. And that was quite unfortunate. You know, I feel that they should have gone with the Rani or something unexpected. Because I think most people passed it off as way too obvious, but they went for it anyway. And yeah, I'm not too happy with that. I would have preferred it being a new character, to be honest. But nevertheless, as it is, I think it works well enough. And I'll comment more on Michelle Gomez's fantastic performance as the Master next week. But anyway, the build-up in the story, as I said before, works very well. And then you finally get the reveal of the Cybermen. That was very good. And then you have the whole Nethersphere scenes, which are very interesting. I think Chris Addison, who plays Seb, is a fantastic actor. He really does go for that part and really makes it enjoyable, funny. It's one of the best performances in the entire Series 8. I really do like that character a lot. The interaction with Danny Pink is nice, and the boy as well. That was interesting. We finally get to see a bit of backstory for Danny Pink, which is something that, you know, many people have wanted for quite a while, because it helps you to connect to the character more. I think it's a bit late, after all he's dead at this point-ish, but nevertheless, it still works, I guess. And, you know, it's nice to see him, it's nice to have that flashback where you see him kill the boy. And that's interesting. I think, while it was well obvious that he definitely killed someone, that was made quite clear in Into the Dalek, we weren't really told that it was a young boy. So that provided a nice new angle on things. And then the whole call between Danny and Clara, I'm not sure what they were trying to go for there. Danny's not stupid. I'm not sure whether he was trying to keep Clara, to stop Clara from killing herself, so that she could be with him, or whether he was just plain being ignorant. And yeah, it didn't cut it for me, to be honest. But other than that, I think the whole scene with Danny's side of things, it was Samuel Anderson's best performance as Danny Pink, but, you know, otherwise not too impressed by that on the writing side and Clara's side. Well, Jenna Coleman's performance was good, but it wasn't as good as her performance earlier in the story between her and the Doctor. So there's that side of things, I guess. Then we have Dr. Chang, who was an interesting character, and then he, I guess he was more there to just serve the purpose of explaining the whole thing. And then the 3 words, the controversy over that, wow. I think, you know, when they were talking about it, they gave a long build up to it, saying, you know, if you have recently deceased members, you will find this disturbing. And, you know, I was just thinking, yeah, right, just get on with it. I was like the Doctor, you know, I was just saying, get on with it. It's not going to be that good. It's kind of like the Doctor's name thing. You know, you build it up, but it's never going to be that good. So why do all the build up anyway? But no, it really was very serious. I'm not sure about the whole thing where he says no one in human history, this thought has never occurred to anyone in human history, and I'm pretty sure it has. I'm pretty sure it's normal to kind of have that thought, I guess. Not normal, but I'm pretty sure it's a bit, what's it called? There's a word for it, but I've completely forgotten it. Kind of like very up yourself from Moffat's part to kind of like say that, kind of like oh, no one's ever thought of this before. But other than that, you know, those 3 words are very, very powerful. You know, the "don't cremate me" bit, that was very disturbing. It's probably the first time I've been properly disturbed and uncomforted by Doctor in a long time, and I like that about it. However, for young children with imaginative minds, well, they're probably going to some of them probably going to take that a bit too far, maybe. I don't know, some of them will, some of them won't, depends how it goes with them. But, you know, I guess it is revealed later that it was just all a ruse, and the Doctor does say at the time, what a nonsense. But, you know, it's a bit odd to think about, I guess. But nevertheless, I think that moment worked for me on an adult viewer level, well, teenage viewer level, but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, you know, young adult viewer level, let's just say that. But for child viewer level, it may be quite disturbing. Maybe they don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. They're just there for the Cybermen. But, you know, from my point of view, I think it worked as disturbing and really gave the episode some gravitas. The episode itself wasn't overly dark. I think it got the right level of dark, unlike Death in Heaven. More on that next week. But overall, a good first part. A rather strong first part. Not the best, but, you know, I think I'm going to go 7 out of 10 for this one. It's a good episode, good way to start it off. And next week we have Death in Heaven. So will it live up to this? Will it improve on Darkwater, or will it let down Darkwater and go down in rating a bit? Well, who knows? I know, but you'll find out more about that hopefully tomorrow with the review of Death in Heaven. But until then, bye everyone.